Hello, hope you're doing well and staying home isolating yourself, and it's perfect time to test some audio gear. And today I will be talking about the Advanced Acoustic Works and their most recent model. It's probably not new, they released it late 2019, it's ACH. I didn't have a chance to test something from Advanced Acoustic Works, and I was really interested. I've tested only their collaboration with Shozi, it's Pola and Pola 39, and I was really impressed with results. So I wanted to test some models by Advanced Acoustic Works. Of course, I wanted to test some flagships, but I got for review now their entry-level model, and it's the case when company delivered as much as possible in one model for its price. Their price is about 225 United States dollars, 320 Singapore dollars, and for this price you will have the unusual 3-driver hybrid. So they're using 10mm dynamic driver, one ceramic super tweeter with 7 layers ceramic driver, and one balanced armature for the high frequencies, and they're using an unusual tubeless balanced armature that is located far in the nozzle, and because of that sonic waves from this balanced armature driver decays less, and you're getting more refined and more detailed sound. So that's about them, and let's have a closer look. As you can see, package is stylish, some shells are printed on it, looks pretty attractive, nice pattern. I'd like to have it as a wallpaper for my desktop. On the back side you will read the information about Advanced Acoustic Works. Also you will see that what is included, and also the description and technical specifications in the visual and in the text format. So frequency response from 10 Hz to 20 kHz, 108 decibels of sensitivity, and 20 ohms of impedance. So 3-way passive crossover. So as you can see, nice, well-balanced specifications. Not too sensitive, not too tight to drive. So somewhere in between. As usual, you can remove this outer sleeve. Pretty tightly fitting, so let me pull it carefully. And what I already like, it's not traditional black cardboard, instead it's some white with some diagonal stripes, looks attractive. Inside there is a nice big case. Also looks really stylish, not super convenient to carry in your backpack with you, but anyway. So pouch, you can use pouch for carrying. Earphones themselves, and set of accessories. You can see that handcrafted, serial number, it's probably warranty card, cloth for cleaning, small set of tips, actually not super small, but 3 pair of foams, 3 pair of black silicone, so nice viable set, 3.5mm adapter and airplane adapter. Not sure that we will have many planes in some near future, but anyway, this adapter could be handy sometimes, but I don't think that really often. Here are earphones themselves. Attractive design, so inner side is 3D printed. Here you can see that shell is semi-transparent. Inside you can see the dynamic driver, pretty big pressure relief opening, and here probably located balanced armature, some wiring, crossover PCB, so all the details are present inside. Typical modern ergonomic shape, fitting nicely inside in ears, unless you have really small ears, but in many ears they will fit really comfortably. So no sharp edges to irritate you. Good metal spout with nice length, so sound isolation is a bit above average. Small lip for holding the tips, protective grill, so everything that is necessary is in place. They utilized replaceable faceplates here, so you can remove these 3 screws and use some other third party. They Advanced Acoustic Works promised that they will release some faceplates. No sure if they did it. There are a few nice versions on their website, but actually stock one also looks pretty attractive. Some black and white stripes, company logo. Well, maybe it's not the masterpiece of design, but looks pretty attractive and unusual, so I think everyone can live even with it. But if you will be bored with design, you can replace the faceplates and get the new one. Cable is made replaceable. Here used 2-pin connector with recessed sockets. It's classical design, and actually, if I remember right, it's not the regular cable, it's Null Audio Ethos 3rd revision, pretty good cable, both in terms of aesthetics and in terms of sound, in terms of usability. So here's ear hooks format. They minimize the microphonic noise, so no issues with microphonic. It's traditional cable in silicone isolation, looks pretty attractive, almost not getting hard when it's cold outside, average in terms of softness, not too rigid, not too soft, somewhere in between. Big heavy splitter to pull the cable down, providing nice secure fit. Chin slider is present, but I'm sure you won't need it, as microphonic effect here is really low. And after the splitter it goes down, braided, looks pretty nice and attractive to the jack, and jack is also pretty big. So as you can see, in terms of presentation, in terms of design, build quality and all other exterior parts, they looks pretty nice. And of course about the sound, I've burned them in for about 40 hours, and after 40 hours sound didn't change, but not sure if they require less burn in. I didn't test them before the burning in, so not sure about the length of burn in they require. Probably it's not super lengthy. And what is more important with them, they require finding a proper tips to achieve the maximum isolation. And for me the best result was with Symbio ear tips by Mandarins. I think it's a tip that should be in every collection. So spin fits, Symbio tips and spiral dots, it's like #1 must-have third-party tips. Of course, it's just my humble opinion. We'll need some player to show the examples, and it will be Canon 6 Mark II. I like its emotional representation. So let's proceed to the sound description. So for their triple hybrids, Advanced Acoustic Works decided to make a bit unusual signature, because they made main accent on the mid bass and made deeper layers of basses a bit recessed. So it's not typical hybrid in-ear monitors with additional weight on the deeper bass, so they're not trying to overwhelm you with punch, with amount of low frequencies, but the main goal in the creation of these in-ear monitors, as I understand, was resolution control and detalization, because they tuned towards the maximum technicality in sound. So let's proceed step by step. So, bass accented on the mid and upper bass, and deeper layers of bass are recessed. They are present but noticeably recessed, so bass is really fast, maybe not the fastest one, but on the faster side, with a bit dry and really technical performance, technical representation, with really good texturing, with really good layering, giving nice body, but suiting most of all, of course, for the real instruments. For electronic music, it can be sometimes on the lighter side. But at the same time, deeper layers of bass not shadowing mids, not bleeding onto mids, so they bass staying perfectly controlled and performs really well. So it's a bit unusual signature, but really interesting. And with acoustical instruments, we will have really sometimes really the sense of palpable instruments, really good amount of realism. And as an example, well, I'm not pretty logical here because I've selected 100 Black Coffins from the Django Unchained soundtrack. It's not acoustic instruments, not acoustic bass. It's a typical rap song with slow but powerful beats, and these in-ear monitors lacking a bit of impact here, but at the same time these beats are playing in really fast way and not shadowing the mid. So really unusual representation, but I think it's acceptable in many cases. Mids are resolving, really good resolution and nice balance of weight, so really good attacks, decays and sense of realism, really clean and crisp. Actually, on the frequency response, mids sound looks recessed, but thanks to the good resolution and focus on the micro detalization, mids not sounding shallow or recessed or hidden behind the low frequency. So mids are present, they have really nice level of detalization and all that stuff that is necessary, and they require good records, and on the good records they perform exceptionally well, representing everything really nicely. And another their noticeable part and what makes them stand out, it's imaginary stage. They are really good in rendering three-dimensional effects and building the imaginary stage. It's noticeably above average in width and really good in depth with layering and with three-dimensional positioning, with good audiophilic records. They sounding really well, and with binaural records they are also exceptional. And as an example for the mid frequencies, I've got here it's classics of well recorded tracks. It's Jazz at the Pawnshop. If you need something well recorded, it's definitely the album to consider, especially modern remasters. It's classical concert recorded live in some jazz club, and you will hear all that ambient sounds with like some waiters going here and there, people eating, drinking, clapping, discussing, and of course perfectly recorded concert itself by Arne Domnérus. I suppose I pronounce it at least 50% correctly. So really well recorded music with crazy amount of these environmental details, and these in-ear monitors managed to play it in really impressive and realistic way. I was really surprised with this track, High Life. At the beginning there is some clapping and some noises, and they sounding like I was there. It's pretty good effect for the in-ear monitors. And treble, I also like them, but of course if you treble sensitive, just listen them before buying. It's common. If I like something in terms of treble, it's probably not the model for treble sensitive persons. So I like accented treble, not too much of course, because too big accent makes treble unnatural, but I like more extension and I like layering, and actually for this price this in-ear monitors performs exceptionally well here. Of course, treble has good resolution, even above average, and good extension, also not above average, so you will need for them some high quality material with good recorded upper frequencies, and for that they will reward you with good treble layering and with really good saturation with overtones, giving you that sense of realism and highlighting it. And also they're pretty good in rendering these high-pitched overtones of real instruments. And as an example, I've got Anathema album Optimist. We all need a bit of optimism, but actually it's kind of fun, I think, kind of joke from the Anathema, because album is not really optimistic, it's slow, and track named San Francisco starts with really good fortepiano piece, and it's sounding really realistic with these in-ear monitors. So to summarize everything, good mid and treble centric model, and at the same time not sounding too aggressive or too unnatural or too bright, at least for me, with really good resolution, with great control all over all frequencies, with the recessed deeper bass, but at the same time bass here is pretty fast. In terms of pairing, they require something at least from the middle segment, like M11 and up. They don't need some super black background or some powerful in-ear monitors, just something, some powerful player, so just something that could control all frequencies in a nice way. And that's all. So speaking about the conversions, actually as usual I can't recall any single model in this price range, so if you will be interested, just feel free to ask, but just few models that came to my mind. BQ EYZ Spring has more bass, especially deeper bass. It's not super accented, but it has deeper bass, and this one has more resolving mids and a bit better treble representation. Tin Audio P1, it's more focused on the micro contrast, it's a bit more resolving, but at the same time it's sharper and sounding too much focused on the micro details sometimes, at least to my taste. So I won't be trying to recall any other model, there are a lot of them, and some of them I definitely reviewed not so far ago, so just feel free to ask. But actually Advanced Acoustic Works managed to create unusual model. It's probably not the most universal one, it's created more for those who like instrumental music, vocal, jazz, something good recorded. But at the same time, you know, there are a lot of traditionally tuned models, so one tuned in a bit less traditional way is definitely interesting. If I got their idea right, they also have similar model named Kingfisher, pretty similar in terms of design and sound, but with talk control. Actually not talk control, but with microphone, so they position it like gaming in-ear monitors, so it's unusual idea. I'm not sure is it the same in terms of sound, but in terms of drivers and specs looks pretty similar. So it was Advanced Acoustic Works ACH. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.